there are hundreds and hundreds of fans, and I imagine a lot of them Filipino fans that have come to support you.
Yeah, that's, I've never seen any other nationality do this, but I swear if you just walk on the street and you cross paths, like you're going to know they're Filipino. Like you'll know right away, you'll know instantly. And I think that's just the sense of, we say kapwa.
Alex Eala has done it again. Not on the court this time, but in the way she carries herself off it. And honestly, what happened in Rome before the Italian Open even began might be one of the most emotional and powerful moments in her entire journey so far. Because after everything she went through in Madrid, after the heartbreak of losing to Elise Mertens in the second round, Alex Eala was not sure how her fans would respond. She was not sure if the people who had been traveling the world to follow her, spending their money, their time, their energy, all of it just to be in the same arena as her. She was not sure if they would still show up the same way. And that doubt, that quiet fear that maybe she had let people down, that maybe the love was conditional on results, that is something any human being in her position would feel. But then she landed in Rome, and everything changed in an instant. The turnout at the Rome airport was nothing short of extraordinary. Her know that they had not gone anywhere. And when she came out and saw that sea of faces, that wave of support, Alex Eala was visibly moved because this was not something she could have scripted or anticipated. This was real. This was raw. This was thousands of people collectively saying, "We are here. We are with you. And we are not leaving." Alex Eala took a moment to thank her fans. She acknowledged them. She told them that this meant everything to her. That having them there when she needed them the most was something she would never forget. And that right there, that genuine heartfelt response is exactly why people love her the way they do, because she does not take it for granted. She does not brush it off or treat it like a routine part of the job. She feels it. She lets it in, and she gives something back. Now, let's talk about the numbers, because they are staggering. Italian authorities confirmed that almost 10,000 Filipinos had already arrived in Rome ahead of the Italian Open to support Alex Eala. 10,000, and that number was expected to more than double within just 2 days, climbing toward 20,000. But the projections did not stop there. By the 5th of May, there was a real possibility that 50,000 Filipino fans could be present in Italy just for Alex Eala. 50,000 people from one country for one player in a tournament that has been running for decades and has seen the greatest names in the history of tennis walk through its gates. That is not a small thing. That is historic. That is something the Italian Open has never seen before and might never see again in quite the same way. We saw this start to build at the Australian Open. We saw it grow in Miami. We saw it in Madrid even after the loss. And now it is following Alex Eala all the way to Italy. This is not a trend. This is a movement, and it shows absolutely no signs of slowing down. The Italian management is already taking note. Martina Navratilova herself reportedly warned Italian authorities to be prepared for the scale of the crowd that Eala's fanbase is going to bring. She pointed to the Australian Open where things got a little chaotic because the turnout was not fully anticipated, and she essentially told them to learn from that and get ahead of it. That is the weight Alex Eala is carrying right now. When a legend of that stature is speaking to tournament organizers about managing the crowds your presence brings, you have reached a completely different level. Navratilova's message was clear. Handle this well, and it becomes one of the great success stories of the Italian Open. Fail to manage it, and it becomes a different kind of headline entirely.
Organizers need to keep more in mind where the players are from and what the actual fan base is here, because there's massive Filipino audience.
And it is not just Navala paying attention. Novak Djokovic has been in Eala's corner for a while now, and his support did not start yesterday. He was vocal about her at the Australian Open. He has been consistent ever since. He reportedly took time for an on-court session with her to help lift her spirits. And by all accounts, he loved every moment of it. He described her as great to watch on television, but even better in person. Think about what it means when the greatest player in the history of the sport says that about a young WTA star. He called her an incredible athlete who is carving out her place for all the right reasons. Her tennis, her effort, her discipline, her attitude. He even added with a note of genuine surprise and approval that she is actually good. That kind of quiet, honest endorsement from Djokovic carries more weight than any formal statement ever could.
This is someone I get along very well with on and off the court. So I have to figure it out. I was really blown away by how inspired she was. I mean, I was blown away by watching.
And the fact that he keeps showing up for her, keeps speaking about her, keeps investing his time and energy into lifting her says everything about how the tennis world views what Alex Eala is building. And that pressure, that logistical reality that comes with having tens of thousands of passionate fans descend on a venue is a direct result of how much Alex Eala means to people. This is not manufactured. No PR campaign in the world generates 50,000 people flying to another continent. That comes from something deeper, that comes from a connection that is personal, that is emotional, and that is built on more than just tennis. Alex Eala has become the face of the WTA in a way that goes beyond rankings and titles. Everything she touches generates conversation, generates energy, generates attention. Her TRP ratings have broken records twice this year, crossing 10 on multiple occasions. She has become the highest-earning women's player in the Philippines. And the projection is that her earnings are going to double in the near future. And the wild part is that she has not even won a WTA 1000 title yet. She has not won a Grand Slam. The ceiling is still wide open. And yet, the impact she is already having on the sport is undeniable. Even players at the very top of the game are talking about her differently now. Jessica Pagula has reportedly acknowledged the kind of stardom Alex Eala is carrying and even mentioned that she would love to have her on a podcast to talk about the energy and attention she is bringing to women's tennis. When a player of Pagula's caliber says that, it tells you everything. She is not talking about Ayala's forehand or her serve or her footwork in isolation. She is talking about what I represents right now. The passion, the crowd, the electricity, the way she is pulling new eyes toward the sport and making them stay. And the way I is handling all of it is arguably the most impressive part of the whole story, because carrying the hopes of an entire nation is not a light burden. Becoming a symbol is not easy. Having millions of people emotionally invested in your every result, your every press conference, your every post is a level of pressure that has broken far more experienced athletes. But Alex Eala is handling it with a grace and a groundedness that speaks volumes about who she is as a person. In defeat, she shows composure. In victory, she stays humble. And with her fans, she is always present, always grateful, always real.
Where do these people come from? And then week after week, as she has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her.
That is not something you can fake for long. Eventually, the pressure shows you who you are. And what the pressure is revealing about Alex Eala right now is that she is built for this. So here we are. The Italian Open is about to begin. Alex Eala is in Rome. Tens of thousands of her fans are there with her. Legends are speaking her name. Champions are watching her. Djokovic is lifting her, and an entire nation is holding its breath. Whatever happens on the court, something already happened before a single ball was struck. Something real, something human. A young woman from the Philippines stepped off a plane in Rome, looked at the thousands of people who had crossed oceans to stand in her corner, and felt the full weight of what she means to people. And she thanked them not with a press release, not with a social media post written by a team, but with her heart wide open, with genuine emotion, with the kind of gratitude that makes people love her even more. That is Alex Eala. That is why the fans keep coming, and that is why this story is far from over. Thousands of Filipino fans were waiting for her. Not hundreds, thousands. People who had packed their bags, booked their flights, arranged their schedules, and made their way to Italy just to see Alex Eala, just to be near her, just to let